3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final season of Story.
Alright, wait, start over.
Let's run that one back.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Alright, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Hello, welcome to the last season of Story. This season is... Fuck! I don't know what to say! Bridget, we should have done this hours ago!
Wait, you're actually trolling, right?
Okay. Alright. This is the last one, okay? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Hello, and welcome to Story Season 7, the final chapter. Now here's, Frigid with the game mode.
Alright, so... It's Rig Team of 2. You'll find out your teammates in a second. And it's... Not only is it Rig Team of 2, but it's Rig Team of 2 enchantless. So, enchant tables can't be crafted. You can get diamonds, gear, and stuff, and use books and fish, and all the like. That works. And then we also have Best PvE, the Frigid edit, where instead of gaining hearts, you gain items from a list. The list is here. At 10 minutes you get 1 diamond, 20 minutes you get 3 string, 32 arrows. Then you get 10 minutes later a diamond. Then you choose a Power 1 or Sharp 1 book. Then another diamond. Then a Prot 1 book. Then, guess what? It's a diamond. Then the other book of Power 1 Sharp 1. Then you get another diamond. Then you get a Prot 1 book. Then it's a meetup. And there's no more rewards. Sorry. Alright, so Flubel's going to introduce the players.
Alright, so the players today, we have...
Oh, and there's a shrinking border.
Yes, there is a shrinking border this season.
And it's, what's that called? Fast melting.
Yeah,
And
okay. Okay. Players, we have Evader _ Yellowvitz, 6Dana6, Psyduck MC, I'm Still Alive, or Trevor, P98, Connor's Game Tips, G Sam. Over here we got Chalk3N, we got Jortim, Liff, Dylan. Now over up here we have Kevin, Dawson, Esper, Zach, Tito Penguin, Max, and then up here we have DYM, Daps, Mr. Cute, and up here we have Sleeping, and then our new players this season we have Peridot, we have Sammy, Jacqueline, Jinko, and Shooter. And then 2 specs this season, we have Cold Bacon and... I just knocked him down, it's okay. And Jasmine.
Okay, so I'm gonna go over game specifics before we get to the teams. Nether's on. You can get speed and stuff, but not much else. You can get health. The map is 2.5k by 2.5k.
Frigid. I mean, not Frigid, Flubel. You might have forgot somebody.
Who did I forget?
You know me.
Head Seal 4. Absorption is off. He is episode 2 or chapter 2. Horses not allowed. And meetup is chapter 6. And so who wants to press the button?
Press it.
Can you press it? Oh yeah,
Wait,
Darren
no.
and Pi are playing as well.
Okay, now we'll go to the teams. If anyone needs
Alright.
help getting down to the team area. Oh, can someone remove talk power?
TPL. Wait, before you move Talk Power, I just want to say thanks to Frigid and Flubel for helping me with most of the organizing this season because I wasn't around for a lot of it. So
Anything for you, Fiddy.
Alright.
Yeah, you probably did a lot more of the organizing than me, but that's cool. All right, so
ready for
can
the
someone
team?
take off Talk Power now? I can.
Your channel.
I love you.
There you go.
Alright, we're down.
It's
folks.
lit.
Why isn't Brent here?
We have 10
So-
toes.
All right,
Jack,
guys.
let's just punch through this and see who's here.
All right, team number 1.
You guys suck at
Who's number 1? Who's number 1?
Oh, wait, shit.
I don't know.
There you go.
Hey,
That's
Unexpected.
Oh my god.
It's not
Alright.
not
Team
Glyph.
number
You're
2.
fucking stupid.
Yes! Oh fuck! Yes! Oh my god!
Also,
Where's
very
Brent
unexpected.
going? Where are you going?
Oh my god! Yes! Yes!
Never would have guessed that.
How is that the team? I would have never.
Why didn't I know
we
any of
stay
these
here?
people?
They like made it so cute.
Better late than
Whoa.
Oh! Oh my god.
Women on the team.
Wait, he's not.
He's not even on the team.
No,
These boys are fucking
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna go further.
Wait, what? I totally thought he was someone else. Okay, alright.
On
This
who's
is
the
shocking.
your account on Minecraft?
Okay.
That's how Nick knows my
Ooh.
name.
Trevor.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I gotta fucking go.
That's a curve.
I like how you keep
Trisha,
looking
bring
down
it
so I
to
see
me.
the other bear walking towards me.
Wow.
It's a black team, that's racist.
That team's winning. That team's winning.
Yeah, it was something about
I already
dinosaurs.
called it.
This team.
I don't know, it's hard to hear you.
Oh god.
Yeah, give yourself the free win.
That's just not fair.
What is that?
Oh.
What jacket? That looks like a
Alright, someone want to step on?
Oh.
Disaster strikes once more.
Oh my god.
Darren and Pie.
Oh, I think we are supposed to be going with that.
The unexpected team.
I wonder who's on this team.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Dad, did you hear me?
Brownage. I don't know what happened.
They call that a
changed
GG, bro.
Your channel
Okay,
was
we're gonna have
edited.
before we end, we're gonna have a moment of silence for Trey, Kinsey, Lego, and stuff who weren't able to make it. But hope everyone enjoys the season and go story.
What is that?
Yo, Dark Blue Team.
What is that?
Wait, hold on.
Yes, fighting.
Oh my
That is not part of the That looks like a spider's died
Guys,
on.
either go to TeamSpeak or Discord. Doesn't really matter.
Oh, I'm already on it, buddy.
Since I'm using OBS, I have no idea if I'm recording or not. Hell yeah.
Look at Dylan is sleeping.
Oh my god.
They both sporting their Trevor attire.
Yeah, no, they should be sporting their Jordan. Remember
Jordan.
when I made the renders for season 3 of Story, I just made Jordan and Trevor's renders exactly the same.
Were they just like flipping each way? Just
Yeah,
like,
they were just literally flipped versions of the same render with a different mask.
That's pretty good.
Oh my god.
Let's.
I love looking at my old renders because they're all such ass. Like, oh my god, my personal favorites are like the out-hosted renders.
Okay,
Oh.
okay.
Alright, wake up readers, let's
Hey,
get
guys.
this book.
Wake up! Let's get this book.
Let's get this
Welcome
book,
to-
fellow readers. Welcome to Story
welcome
Season
to
7.
Story 7.
of Climaxing.
What's the actual name?
Story of Finality.
Story of Finality. Okay.
Or The Last Chapter, because Vinny really didn't like Finality.
He didn't like it. I think Story Epilogue was still the best sounding.
Epilogue was
That's-
actually really cool, except it
that's
didn't
just one
follow
man's opinion.
it didn't follow the thread of like all the other ones. Because like I
Yeah.
remember people wanted to do a really dumb game over the Split just because it sounded cool. They
The
wanted
end
to
of
do
Split.
the end of Split, Dragon Rush.
Oh boy, that's
Because
crummy tie-in.
Dragon Rush definitely works for rounds, except like the only round that actually works for is fucking TTE.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know how they get lucky with that, but it just kind of works every.
Someone
5
secretly
seasons.
plays the Ender Dragon.
Oh my god. Yeah.
My personal favorite Ender Dragon Rush season of any round is Gala 6. I know Gala 5.
Gala 5 was awful.
Gala 5. It was a really intense final fight. I was shaking in my seat.
The PvP leading up to it wasn't all that
No,
bad.
but the ending was
that
just, oh my god.
It was just 40 minutes of Zephyk trying to melee the dragon, and then he didn't even win.
Yeah, because he didn't have arrows, right? Oh my god.
Oh, I found the Mesa.
Oh, really? I found the, what's it called? Acacia. I think we went like completely different
Oh,
directions.
that's actually good, because Daps already took damage, and it's like best PB items.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, we get some diamonds. We get some
Yeah, so
more
like,
Dimidogs.
really try not to take damage, because it kind of
Yep.
screws over your game if you do.
Yeah.
I want to at least not take damage for the first episode, just so I can get a bow and some arrows.
Yeah, that's gonna be able, because everyone's gonna have bow and arrows too.
Yeah, like, especially because if you don't get that and other teams do, then,
Yeah.
you know, you can't really take any fights.
Unless you just,
So.
like, bum rush melee. I don't know who's
Yeah,
gonna
'cause
actually
I'm
want
that
to
kinda
melee
guy.
here. No, Max, you're easily the best top NA melee. You're
Oh,
even better
yeah.
than the Tony Sparrow at melee.
You know it, you know it.
Listen, Tony Sparrow may be in. I should not say that a lot because this is actually getting uploaded. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Keep that to yourself. Okay?
Oh, no.
We'll let that.
Anyhow.
We'll let that slip.
Listen,
slide
I
for now.
have to put the filter if this is actually being uploaded to the public for
Yeah.
some good old banter.
Because it's been a while since you've done one of these, right? Like Fission was probably the last.
Vision
your
was
last
the
one.
last. Well, yeah, because I played a different one, but that was an FFA.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. That.
legitimately, the last one I played was Fission. That was like a team one. That one was
Uh-huh.
awkward as hell though because like both Lake and Miles I hadn't spoken to in like months on end, and I'd
Oh,
never
really?
really known Perpdan to begin with. So it was like really
Oh.
awkward. And also
Poor
like I know I've had
Sindel.
like sketchy history of Harb in general, so like wasn't a fun time because I
Oh,
wasn't sure
yeah.
about anything.
You saved Perp like a billion times.
I
so I'm
know
sure he
Perp
forgives you for
Perpdan
all
would
of
be
your
Perpdan would be dead Dan if it wasn't for me.
dead Dan.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
He would have died to BJR and A Richards.
I was happy that Erich got a kill.
As
Like,
we know,
some-
A-Rich is a higher tier than BS Friend.
Yeah, I watched that video you sent me of it's just genuinely awful. Like when it base boosts when he's like dashes. Okay, be a sprint on the tier 3, and then it's, oh my god, it's bad.
That video is amazing, I'll have you know. I put so much time and effort into that video, it is actually my child.
It's your magnum opus for any content you've created.
Whenever
like,
I,
at all.
Eventually I'm gonna do a job application for graphic editing, and like in my resume I just link that video, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Who's BS Brent?" And I'm just like, "Only the top tier Fire Emblem Heroes player."
You think people are ever actually gonna do that? Where like they're gonna submit like their like meme creations for stuff if it's like well edited? Like with the rise of like the internet and like
You
stupid
know-
stuff.
That's totally possible. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I thought you were gonna say like people editing their Minecraft montages.
Not, no. Not
I can totally
that
see
good.
Shibby going to a job interview. Hey Shibby.
Oh my god.
What's your editing resume? Here's my addiction intro. I grabbed images from a video game cutscene and then used the default text. And they're like,
Hey, look,
wow,
really nice guys, hire me.
this isn't really what we were looking for.
Yeah.
And then I could see like who like takes their highlights really seriously.
Who even does highlights anymore?
I don't know. Organized.
It's a dying medium.
I know. Like, oh god. Because no one has the attention span to watch them anymore. And also, like, if you do put effort into them, like, if you're, like, depending on who you are, you'll automatically get, like, less views.
Yeah, it's
'Cause I
like it's not
remember
even worth it if
when
you
I was
even put that much
like once I
effort.
was talking to Jan because Jan was making back when Jan still made highlights, he was like he was always getting pissed because like he would put so much effort into the highlights, but people would automatically see that it was made by Yanni, and they would just be like, oh, I don't want to see that because Yanni is cancer.
Yeah.
But his highlights
yeah.
were like easily like one of the best edited. In
They
the
were
community.
really good.
And he stopped
Yeah.
making them, I think, just because of, like they all got like sub 200 views. I remember on his rant, he was just like, "It's not even worth it anymore." And I'm like, I can understand that because why bother putting so much time into it if you're gonna get like no recognition for it?
Yeah, like especially if you're somebody who actually goes out and really tries to make them good,
Yeah.
and you just get like no reception.
And the
it's
problem
totally
is, like,
demotivating.
the difference of highlights with like any other like kind of platform is like you aren't really making it for yourself at a point. Like with a lot of other things, even if you're not getting any attention for it, you can still have fun making them.
Yeah.
But it's not really the same with highlights because if no one sees your highlights, you don't have fun making them. Like the fun part is like
Yeah.
other people's like responses to them and like well reception because they're like, oh, that was really cool. Because like when it comes to like art, like I don't need people to see my art for me to think it's great. I'm assuming it works the same way
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
Because I
don't
know
need
you did
validation.
art a long time before you posted any of it to this like Twitter or anything.
Yeah, and I mean it's mainly because I didn't do digital drawing until like I was asked to do Lampoon stuff, and that was like many.
I thought it
years
was
in the
agency
community.
first.
Yeah, agency, but none of that really went public. I did like 4 of them.
Yo, your Valkyr drawing.
I still kind of like that. I
It was
think I
not
could do
bad,
it much
honestly.
better today. But
Nah,
I liked
like,
the pose I had for it.
I will admit, like with like my old friends here, there's some stuff that I really do. I like hate it all, but there's some pieces that I think like honestly aren't that bad. Like
Yeah.
specifically tags and shockeries.
Tags, yeah, those two were still they were
just-
pretty detailed.
Just
in
because they were
comparison.
based off like already existing like characters.
That's
like,
why doing for my Lampoon 2 stuff, Brody's was probably my best one.
Brody's
because
was really good.
Because with Brody's, I had reference to like an actual character, and I just had to like personalize it instead
Yeah.
of looking at this skin
No,
and
I
going, "What the
adore
hell
doing
is this?"
that because that's
Yeah.
like that's why like I think there's such a wide appeal to like fan art too. Because like
Yeah.
with fan art, you don't have to create your own designs. You can just take one and then like put it into your own style. Which is why I'm
Yeah.
assuming stuff like Brent's art was really hard for you because, like, no offense, Brent's art
Yeah.
was not great. But like
Oh.
the thing is like Brent's skin is like hard to work with anyway, especially whenever
that's-
you're putting like an animal in like some like clothes like that. Like
Yeah, I think it started okay, but it was not my
the
proudest
only
one.
thing I think the suit and stuff looked good. The eyes, I don't understand why the eyes like Brent looks like he has no soul, and he doesn't have a soul, so it was like a nice touch. But
Yeah.
it was weird that you assumed that, you know, like you knew that
Yeah,
before it was
yeah.
told.
I don't know. That was just like sometimes I just kind of roll with what I think would look alright, and I was just kind of like I felt like that was what
There actually
the touch.
that actually brings back one thing I actually really appreciated about Brody's is because a lot of the time in Brody's art people give him like normal eyes, but if
Yeah.
you look at Brody's eyes on his skin, he has like completely bleak and glassy eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was
he's
actually
like
yeah, you can finish.
he's more like that, not like a demon, but he's like more of
Yeah.
an animated character.
Yeah, it was
when
so it
he's
was actually
got
really
stuff
cool
like
to see that you like actually like took an attention to detail. Like, oh, his eyes look like glass balls, so I'm gonna make
And
them
that's-
glass balls.
Yeah, and as you were saying earlier, that's why I have so much fun with stuff like that, because you can really look into it and you can be like, oh, okay, you know, you're starting with something as opposed to just like
Yeah.
starting with from scratch. And that's why you can get some like really messed up ones that don't look good, because you're just trying to adapt something when you have no idea what it is.
Yeah,
and
and
you
I
just
also
have to transfer it.
point something else. I'm assuming you actually use reference images for Brody's too, just for the simple fact that so much art of him has been made like beforehand.
Yeah,
Because the thing is, like with Brody's skin, it's really like it's hard to figure out what it even is. Like I didn't know it was a pirate until I saw art of it.
I asked him because I wouldn't have asked him otherwise, like if I
Yeah.
didn't see it. But with how well people were adapting it into art, I was like, there's
I
clearly
know.
something here. So I
Like,
asked him, well, like, what's your skin reference?
Because like I knew Brody for like his art more than his actual skin. Because it was like
Yeah.
his actual character, like when drawn, is like really memorable.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
with like the card and the hat and everything. Like that's really cool.
Uh-huh.
But so I think it's cool that you actually did like a cross between the like literal skin and also the like adaptations by like Zeb or whatever.
It's the same thing with I'm going to redo it for season 3, but I think the only other piece of art that I got a solid reference from was Shups, because Shups is that I forget her name.
Yeah, I
but
forget
some
her name.
character.
Isn't she from Professor Layton?
Maybe
I
don't
forget
know.
what game she's from.
Yeah, but I did her, and that was easier because there were so many other, like, I could just Google her name, and half of it was fan art, and half of it was just like actual pictures of her.
Yeah, that's really nice,
So
especially for, like,
it allowed
popular
me
games.
to take influence from other stuff and kind of add it to
Yeah.
my own creation.
And I believe that character is from a Nintendo game as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is real, because Nintendo has a ginormous fan base, and a lot of the people who like Nintendo games are actually really talented artists.
I've
So
noticed that, yeah.
Yeah, so
There's
it's
a
like
lot of-
really helpful for like, especially for people who are trying to like create their own drawings and imaginations of it. It's really helpful for like you to be able to figure out, oh, there's so many fan recreations that they all look different, but they all have the same like key features. So if you look at the
Yeah.
key features, you can figure out, okay, so I should definitely include like these 3 things when thinking about this composition.
Yeah, yeah.
So then you can put your own spin on it, but still making it recognizably theirs. And that's actually a problem I've had, because some of my like drawings of people, sometimes I do miss like key things that makes it like almost unrecognizable if like I didn't show the other person first.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I've definitely done that before. I've slipped up and I've like missed something that like when I add it, it's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot more
Yeah,
sense.
because I want to point out, like, while fan art is like easy and it's better because like you don't have to like fill in the blanks between your skin, it is still like actually hard, just because
you automatically have to pay more attention to detail.
Yeah, like it's easy because it gives you a structure to work with already, but you also at the same time have to understand there are some things you have to put in, which
Yeah,
should make it very
yeah.
difficult to put your own style to it. Like, trying to think of things I've drawn. A lot of Fire Emblem characters actually like look awful with my normal style, so I've actually completely reworked like a style specifically
Ooh.
for Fire Emblem characters.
That's
Like,
pretty cool.
I don't know if you've seen my like the wallpaper with like Lucina and Meta Knight.
Yeah.
Did you notice how the head is like way different than the usual heads I do?
I did actually notice that. I noticed that
Yeah.
you clearly did something a little different.
The
there.
reason I did that is because it looks really bad if I do it. Because usually when I draw people, I don't have a forehead. Like I don't include a forehead at all. Just because whenever I did it, that's how everything looked really like long.
Yeah, it's a little stretched
So
out.
I didn't do that, but if like some characters have like such complex frontal hair, like it's impossible because the thing with like many Fire Emblem characters is because they have such frontal hair, like it would completely cover their eyes, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Because if it covers your eyes, it actually looks really sick in like a sketch, but when you have to put it through line art, ew, it's just bad.
I have that problem all the time where I'll have like a really good sketch and I'm like, this looks fantastic.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then
yeah.
I'll go on to do the liner and I'm just like, I hate this so much and I just can't get past
because
that stage.
things look so nice as sketches. Like
yeah.
And things can look great with line art too, but there are some things that you just don't notice when you sketch. For instance, like you can put as many lines on top of each other and it doesn't really look like a big deal on sketch. But once like you have like solid black lines, it's like it's so like obviously like weird.
And a lot of times it's just because of that rough composure that you get with the sketch where it's like you don't have to fine line everything that makes it look nicer.
Yeah.
But that just completely goes away.
And also
when
the
you
thing
do
about
it.
sketches, like when you're doing a sketch, your brain has the automatic mentality that it's rough. Like it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
So you're when you're doing it, you're really less thinking about every single aspect of it, more just enjoying drawing it. But when you actually take it to the line, you kind of want not perfection, but you want it to be as good as possible. And that's when your brain starts looking for like these minor errors.
Yeah.
Like usually whenever I like do a piece and I finish it, like afterwards I notice something I did wrong and no one else notices it and it just kills me because it's like it could be so much better. Now I never fuck up as bad as Cool's teeth being green. Sorry Sandra, I love you,
gosh.
but I gotta call you out on that one.
That was bad.
It's never that bad, but like sometimes there's things I notice that are just like and then I've already posted it publicly, so it's like, well, I guess it's over now.
Yeah, you can't really change that.
And also, and I feel bad for you though, because like you're still doing art for recorder rounds, and that must be awful.
It can be pretty fun because it's nice to have something dedicated that I can work on. If that makes any sense.
That's a very good reason to start doing it, but I mean, obviously, a good thing also is that Lampoon has a very small roster size.
Yeah,
and it's generally just a good job when it comes to not having like too many subs.
I did. There were 11 newcomers for season 2.
But many of them were newcomers you were drawing beforehand anyway.
Yeah.
I want to point out, in Frenzy Season 3, there were like 5 people who subbed.
Oh,
so I had to do like 5 people in the span of like a week, and that was a really not fun time.
I feel that's the thing too, is I almost get like demotivated to do like upgrades of certain people's art after the game is already recorded because I'm like, well, if the intro's pretty much finished, like, oh, sweet. I'm like, how long do people really want to wait just to have like one maybe slightly better piece?
That's
like,
true.
is it worth it? So that's why I try to get all the ones done for the next.
Yeah,
season.
that's actually really smart. Someone's in the cave. It's Darren.
Oh, Darren.
Should I just get the stringing?
He's taking damage, so it's not.
Should I just get some
string.
Out? I think it's under a cave spider spawner though. I think that's a bit of my shit I see.
I did find a zombie spawner, but it didn't really have anything in it.
Okay, I'm just gonna get some string really quickly.
But
I can go to the not part, to like the not cave spider part of it. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, I feel like there's a few problems that I had when it came to making record run art, right? The first one was, it kind of goes into two. One, my like wanting everything to look better than it does.
Yeah.
And also, but also it ties into another thing, which is, this isn't always the case, but like an organizer's lack of understanding when it comes to like the process.
Yeah, that's a pain.
Now I'm not dropping names, but like sometimes it can just be really irritating when like it takes a long time to make art, right? So
yeah.
it's like people sometimes just have to understand that they can't just make art like on the fly, which is why many artists need like a ton of time, like a ton of time before the round to make all the art. Which is why like sometimes for rounds, it's like a good idea for like to know all the subs beforehand.
Because that way, I mean, I think I almost did that for Lamp 1. Like, I think I almost actually ended up drawing you before, like, for Season 1. But I think the reason I didn't end up doing that was just because I was like, you know, it probably won't end up happening, and I already still have to do a bunch of them anyways.
Yeah.
Because for, like, doing art for Season 1, like, I had to do, I think, 24. Actually, no, it was 26, because there were 2 people that didn't play. I mean, we're gonna... Granted that we don't take damage for like 5 minutes, we'll both already have bows.
Okay, so I think that's enough.
Yeah, should be enough.
I'm just gonna leave then, because I don't want to fight Darren. Early PvP lol.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for early PvP, but not this early.
Not this early, yeah.
I'm just gonna get this gold really quickly.
Good idea, good idea. I'm still trying to find a cave. I got like a surface cave with a spawner, but I'm just roller coastering right now.
I mean, I found a cave, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, like, I don't know, I think... Especially, like, it's just really stressful, too. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, it does sound, on the idea of, like, having, like, a current project that you're always working on is really nice. In reality, it can just completely pile up, and it can feel like so much.
It's not so much that, like, a project that I'm always working on, but it's nice to know that if I'm... Oh my god, why is he calling me again?
Who's calling you?
Kevin.
Why is Kevin calling you?
This is the second time.
Like, during the round itself?
Yes.
What the hell?
Okay, I just called him and hung up instantly. What was I gonna say? That's why it's not so much like a continuous project, but it's like when I want to work on something, I know that I can, right? It's like if I'm bored, I'm like, oh, you know, now it's the buffer time between Season 2 and 3.
Oh, you know,
I have newcomers that I can do. Yeah, so it's like I have free space, and like, hey, I can work on something if I want, but there's no pressure, you know?
Well, like, yeah, so, like, the in-between time is great, because it feels like you need if you want something to do, you get something to do.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes when it gets to the actual time of the round, especially after the round's recorded, and if you're not done...
that sucks.
It feels like it's so bad. Because the organizer, like, again, if the organizer doesn't really understand, it can feel like there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. It's more like... For me, when I did it for Lamp 2, I had only like half of them finished, and that was also due to the fact that there were a couple subs, people like Brody, that just kind of hopped in, and I was like, oh, well, there's people that I need to add to my list now. Yeah. And I kind of felt like I needed to redo some ones from Season 1 as well, so it just kind of all piled up, and I only got like 1 or 2 done a week.
Yeah, and and I want to say, like, after, like, the time after the round and yourself can lead to the thing that made me just stop wanting to do RR altogether, rushing pieces. Because rushing pieces, like, it sounds like you wouldn't have to do it, like you would think, oh, the artist gets time. They don't. Like,
not really.
Like, you are not given time. You are not, at least artists don't feel like they're given time, because oh dear, like, and once because like you rush art because it's like, I feel like I have to, because if I don't, then the organizer will be like pissed at me or whatever, and like and you want to make the organizer not piss at you because they asked you to make art for them, like it's like you want to impress them, but you can't because there's like so little time. So then you end up making rush copies, and this is the part which like leads a lot of people probably just not to understand. So I don't want to sound like Elise, like no one will understand this other than artists, but because a lot of people don't notice this, but like if our art comes out and you're like, oh, that all looks good, I guarantee you the person who made the art does not feel the same way.
Yeah, I totally, like, when both Lamp and Lampoon intros came out, I was satisfied with maybe only like half the stuff.
Yeah, it's like it's like you may think like from a like a viewer's perspective, like, oh, all this art looks super cool. Most of the art was probably really rushed by the person.
Yeah.
And like they're like the only one who points it out, because like everyone else, like their standard for art is so low, which I think is fine. But
that's fine.
Since it's so low, no one else really like notices it, and like. Which leads the artist to like be in a situation where like I don't like most of this and everyone likes this. What am I supposed to say?
Yeah,
it's just like
kind of.
Oh, okay, so
end of the episode.